everybody, stay tuned. I'm about to show you 3 tips for growing better microgreens. So of course there are more than just 3 tips for growing great microgreens, but we want to keep it simple and just share with you 3 today. So the first one that I'm going to share is after you've planted your microgreen seeds, whatever they may be, it's good to cover them. Now you have a couple options to cover them. You can cover them with a paper towel or with potting soil or some cocoa coir over the top. You just might want to do a light, fluffy layer if you go that route. And what this does is essentially, for seeds to perform germination well, they need to feel like they're buried and they need to be surrounded by humidity and moisture. So a good way to accomplish that is to cover it, even with just a simple paper towel, which I'll do right here, where I've cut it to size and I'll just lay it over my planted seed. My soil is already nice and moist, so it's starting to soak up all of that moisture. And then I'm just going to spray it down. And what this paper towel method does is it helps you regulate the moisture that is in that top layer of soil. So when you check on it every day, you can see how either soaking or dry the paper towel is, and that'll give you a good indicator of how much you need to water. You'll do this while it's in its blackout period, either in a germination tent or just covered with another tray. Just lift it up, check on it. But once you see those seeds germinating, pull that towel off. Or if you see them poking through your soil or cocoa coir, you'll just place it next to the window and they should grow great after that. Now, step 2 is don't water unless you have to. Now, there's some caveats to this. Now, you want to make sure that your soil is moist but not soggy. And you don't want it to dry out completely. You want to find the right balance. And so we often get asked, how many times a day do I water? And it really depends on the environment in which your seeds are growing. This room is a little bit cooler, so I don't have to water as often, but if you like your house or if the area that they're growing in is a little bit warmer, it might dry out quicker, so it just depends. Something that I like to do that helps me is I do the touch method, which I'll pull back my growing microgreens, and I'll just put my finger down there to touch it. And what you're looking for is that moist, almost clumpy kind of soil, but not sopping wet. You don't want it to drip if you were to pick this up. Basically, just develop a relationship with your microgreens, right? And be aware of how much water it takes in per day, and it might not be that much. Now, step 3 might be an overlooked one, but we're going to talk about the seeds themselves, your unused seed. If you plant it from a paper packet, this will just be open and exposed to the elements. You may fold it over, put it in a drawer, but I'm here to tell you that maybe you should go a little further if you want your seeds to last longer. And something as simple as a Ziploc bag will do it because it's airtight. Not 100% airtight, but it's airtight enough to be able to protect your seeds from any outside forces like temperature and humidity that might damage it and lower the germination rate. Or even a sealed mylar is really good, or even a jar, anything that can just create a barrier between the seed and the outside. And you should have great germination results if you just follow that storage method of just airtight, cool, dry, and you should see great microgreens from those seeds for some time to come. So follow these steps and you'll see some great microgreens, and we'll come back at you with more tips in the future. Happy planting.